How we doing, guys?
Good. Did you feel you hit upon some things offensively in that Jacksonville game that you can carry onto the road and maybe help you a little bit and get off the snide on the road?
Yeah, obviously we did some good things, running the football and throwing the football, and we were able to move it pretty consistently throughout the game, and we cashed in on drives. So those are all things you aspire to do regardless of where you're playing.
What's your expectation for Sean today?
He's going to practice. I don't know how much he's going to practice. He'll be limited at the outset, but hopefully he handles the work and gets a good practice in.
We've talked a lot about the problems y'all have had at tackle. What's the workload for Malik, Woods, Irving today?
You know, all those guys played in the game, so we anticipate them practicing. Some of the guys coming back from injuries we'll keep an eye on, but for the most part we anticipate those guys practicing on the defensive line.
Is Irving back from his appointments this morning?
Yes, he is.
With Sean and how well the two guys have played with him, how do you work those three guys?
It's a work in progress. We'll see if Sean's available for the game based on his work this week. Sean's obviously one of the best players we have, and he's a great leader for our defense, incredibly productive. Both Jalen and Leighton have played well in his absence, better than we've played in the past at the linebacker position when Sean was out. But when Sean's healthy and ready to go, Sean's going to play, and we will work on a rotation. We had a rotation before he was injured, and we'll decide what that is as the week goes on.
You've talked about how hard Cole Beasley is to guard. What is that about him? Is it that he's small and fast, his footwork? Why do you think he's so difficult to defend?
I think he's an exceptional athlete, incredibly quick, great change of direction, great body control. I think he's got a really good understanding of the game, how to defeat a guy in man-to-man coverage, how to use the player's leverage against him, how to set him up. He's very good releasing. He's very good at the top of the route. And then when they play zone, he's very good understanding where the soft spots are and where he needs to be quarterback friendly. So I think all those things make him somebody who's hard to guard regardless of what they're playing.
Back to what David said at the outset about carrying over stuff from the Jacksonville game. How much of what you all did that day is predicated on what Jacksonville's defense allows, or how much can you guys just have that be what you are in terms of Dak running more and getting Beasley involved, things like that?
Well, certainly what you want to do is you want to be able to run the ball and throw the ball effectively in all different ways every week, regardless of who you're playing. Now, based on what defenses play, you have to use different schemes to accomplish that. A four-man line versus a three-man line, whatever those different things are on all three levels of the defense, you try to attack them differently. But the mentality that we played with, the spirit that we played with, the physicalness, and certainly the execution in all phases is what you want to accomplish week in and week out, regardless of what the opponent is.
You've talked before a little bit about just on the road this year, maybe communications at times has been an issue. Not as an excuse, but this is a younger team than what you've had, and their performance on the road has not been what you've come to expect over the previous 4 years. Do you see the youth factoring in on that at all?
Yeah, possibly, but that's irrelevant. What's relevant is we have to do a better job of it. At times on the road when we were all together and communicated well and everybody was on the same page, we executed pretty well. But there are too many examples in each of those games where we didn't do that. And there's a lot of different factors for that, a lot of different reasons for that. But the fact is we got to get it right. We got to get better at it. And we'll work very hard this week in practice to do a better job of that so we can do it consistently throughout the game in all phases, in all situations.
Are those the different road situations? Obviously, you had Seattle and Houston with the big crowds. Was the crowd issue in Carolina, or was that more just the first game issues?
That's a long time ago. We're really focused on where we are right now, to be honest with you. And, we have to play better regardless of what the circumstances are. You've heard me say it many times, home, road, parking lot, or moon, you got to play well. And we've been a team that's played fairly well on the road in the last few years. And we just have to do a better job of it. It comes down to executing well. Communication's a big part of executing.
Talked about this a little bit on Monday, but Tavon's skill set being so unique, do you spend this week finding a guy who can replicate some of the stuff he does, or you focus more on what they can do on their own rather than trying to replace
Yeah, probably won't get into too much scheme detail right now, but obviously Tavon's had a big impact on our team for the reasons you outlined. He does have a unique skill set. He's quick, he's explosive, he does a lot of positive things when the ball's in his hands. So we feel like we have some other guys who can do very similar things, and we'll try to find what they do best and try to give those guys opportunities to do that.
Garrett compared Tavon's injury to Maurice Claiborne's a few years ago when he missed 9 games. Is IR a possibility for Tavon?
I think we're just taking it day by day. I know he's going to get a second opinion here in the next day or so, and just kind of see where it is medically before we make any determination like that.
Jason, you guys have had a lot of success against the Redskins the last couple of years. I mean, is that about matchups, just that you guys match up well with them? But why do you think that is?
Those things are really irrelevant, to be honest with you. It's about this team versus the team that they have this year in 2018. And that's really what we're focused on. And we're really locked in on today. The game we played on Sunday is over with, and we got to get locked in on this opponent. They've played very well up to this point in all 3 phases of their team, and we got to play our best football.
Adrian Peterson has had a remarkable season for the Redskins, improving their running game. Against the Saints, he played with a hurt shoulder, and he's still averaging more than 5 yards a carry. What challenges does he present as an experienced running back in the league?
Well, he's more than just experience. He's elite and has been elite throughout his career. He's just a rare football player. And, one of the best of his generation at the running back position for so many different reasons. He's very physically talented. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's explosive, he's got vision, everything you want in a running back. But he also has a tremendous will. I think anybody who's tried to go against him and try to tackle him understands that. And he's done that really throughout his career, and is no different now. He's a great football player, and he's a heck of a challenge for us.
What are your thoughts on their front seven and some of the resources they've devoted to up front, particularly stopping the run? What they've done for
Yeah, that's exactly what they've done. They've used a lot of high picks to get better in their front seven, and you can easy to see why. Each of those guys has been very productive for them, and they're doing a really good job defending the run and affecting the quarterback. And those guys are healthy, and they're playing well, and they're playing in a scheme that it's pretty obvious that they believe in. They're doing a nice job, so it'll be a great challenge for us.
How much different is it preparing for them with Alex Smith as opposed to previous years with Kirk Cousins and the different quarterbacks they've had?
I think from a scheme standpoint, you see a lot of the similar elements. There's no question they're trying to highlight and feature Alex. His ability to move around is as good as anybody in the league. So you see them wanting to do that with play actions and movement type stuff. That might be something they're doing a little bit more of than they did in the past. But you see a lot of the same runs. You see a lot of the same type plays that they've run, stuff that's been good for them for a long time.
Do teams draft with their division in mind? Does Washington go this route the last 2 years with these 2 guys because of what you guys? Do you guys look at it that way? Like, hey, what do the Eagles, Redskins, and Giants have when you're trying to set up your draft?
I think you'll have to ask them. I can't answer that for them. I do think probably as a general statement, people think about how do you win the division first, then how do you win the conference, and then how do you win the whole thing. So I do think it's important for us as a team to decide what kind of team we want to be, and build our team that way, and rather than being reactive to somebody else. There are some challenges that are presented by the personnel on different teams in our division, just like it would be in any division. But again, I think our focus needs to be on us, and we've tried to build the team that we want to have here in Dallas.
It's been kind of a roller coaster ride, alternating wins and losses. How does that challenge your mantra of an even keel?
Yeah, it goes back to mental toughness, being your best regardless of what the circumstances are, and just coming to work every day. And don't tell me what happened a couple days ago or what may or may not happen in the future. Just get locked in on what we need to do to be our best today, and that's something we try to instill at our team.
Zeke's lost a few fumbles in his career, but won each of the last 2 years at Washington. What does their defense do to try and challenge his ball security?
Oh, I don't think there's anything overarching about that. A couple times the ball came out, and again, they're a good defense, and that's something that he's challenged by every week, and he just has to, make a concerted effort. He's very good securing the football, the number of touches he has, and he just has to continue to focus on it going forward.
The visit to the museum you guys are taking on Monday, what's the genesis of that? Why is that an important trip to take?
Just something that worked out logistically for us, and that we're in Washington for our game prior to the bye week, and we just felt like we could pull it off. And it's something that, our leadership group had talked about, a number of guys on our team had talked about, a couple of guys who have been there. And we just thought, if we could pull this off, it'd be a great thing for our team. And I think everybody's excited about it.
You've done NASA, you've done the SEALs, London, you guys did your things over there too. Is there a bonding element that's involved when you do these things?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. You try to do those kinds of things for your team. hopefully expose them to some unique experiences, and hopefully we all can learn from it and have it as a shared experience, something that we'll remember for a long, long time. I have not been there. I've been wanting to go there, and apparently it's just a unique place, very emotional, and captures the history of African Americans in our country really, really well. So I think everybody's really excited to be a part of it.
When you look at these, it's primarily the bonding aspect of it, or is it also the intellectual curiosity? I mean, what are you weighing when you do these things?
Oh, I think we're all striving to be our best. I mean, I think that's what you try to do. As a coaching staff, always try to help everyone on your team be the best that they can be. And there are so many different inspirational examples that we have, many of them in sports, many of them in football, but so many outside of sports. So there's so many different ways to try to have this message be in front of your team on a daily basis. And again, this is a unique experience for us to be able to go up there. The schedule worked out well, and there's so many amazing things about our country that are commemorated in Washington, and this is the one we wanted to see, and I think everybody's excited about the opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, good to see you guys.